orders may fill at the midpoint and not further away. So let's go ahead and let's create a quick long call spread here. Let's go to the 29 December expiration. We'll build that order really fast. We go one in and we'll sell one out and we'll create that long call. So when you do this, it's a $2 line spread, $1.13 debit. This point is $1.13, but our natural is $1.30. So in order to perhaps increase the likelihood of getting this trade filled, you might be willing to pay a little bit more to get that order filled as we slide that bar a little more closely aligned to that natural increase. Now instead of being only willing to pay $1.10, we're willing to pay $1.20. We click on confirm and send, read through the alerts, and click on send and fire that order off. And that may allow for bill. Kevin, great stuff. Thanks again for coming on your first trade, giving us your great insights about managing spreads, helping us to understand and break down some of those considerations. We look forward to having you here on the show again very soon. See, we've got lots of great resources as well on schwab.com/coaching, including webcasts on both Kevin Warner. And check us out over there. You can also follow me on X at Yes, that's Charles. Now, next time we're talking about long spreads as we wrap up the strategy. Thanks for tuning in to your first trade. Make sure you look in every day as our Eastern time. That's our business time.
Get that first. You might take it on. All the target is a lot from heaven to earth. Our magnet hybrid battery is strong, smooth, soft, and resilient.
Traders all into a backyard today,
and put your locks
stocks
away.
are weaker today.
Using the
Option strategies. Recover United Healthcare, which is rallying today about 13% of the back of SEC clients. Others. And then Salesforce, which is up today after an upgrade, but still down about 28% so far this year. And like so we'll have percentage data in Amazon, cloud, giant stocks up 4% so far this week on the back of expanding its delivery. Now let's take a look at those figures. This is percent lows. S&P 500 down nearly 0.3%. Dow Industrials actually up about 95 points on the back of that gain in human age. 100 tech heavy Nasdaq down just over 0.5%. Small caps almost 1,000 down about 6%. Break down all this market action. Bring my co-host. That's Kevin Yates. Kevin, give your team here. Seems like a little weakness for sales number. Time to take the luster off a pretty decent week for equity.
Always a good shot.
Don't ask me how I know this, but United Healthcare can rally while the market sells off. Because I know that the market has been rallying for the last 3 months. Healthcare has been selling off. So those two are mutually exclusive as you're seeing today. But that's why the Dow struggled. But we lost the Nasdaq stock to some of this good news overnight in markets that were looking sharply higher. We lost the Nasdaq to the open. And if you look at the 1-minute chart, the market started to sell off. So all things considered, I think this was the day. I think the consumer sentiment data that came in lower on sentiment and higher inflation just added to the bad news. Even with a good retail retail sales number, really all the rest was kind of average for us other than the regional data out of Empire State. The rest was kind of soft. And consumer sentiment, which we're not gonna go into the weeds on consumer sentiment, but it was lower consumer sentiment, higher inflation, but the market was already down for that, so I think it was already lower. Like I said, we looked at the index before the open, and the S&P was right after. So, yeah, you know, healthcare can really hit the because I did the opposite for the last 3 months.
1 year, we continue to tick up to 4.9% from 4.5%. Here, 5 year tick up also on the hill. So that's the number. Watch that. It's conversation. So this is straight.
Under 200 days, but it's just kind of consolidating a bit. There's probably a tell what you're saying about it. Consolidation from there. I'm not concerned about is why I think investor sentiment is starting to get I think it's still bullish, but I think it's less so bad. Don't see a lot of reaching activity in terms of privacy space. I don't see kind of those FOMO trades I would saw before. I don't see margin balances that we call taking risk. I just see investors buying the dips, and that's what we continue to do.
Yep, it's hard to stop that little bit. So only about 4 of the 11 S&P 500 sectors are positive today, like healthcare on the back of UNH. That's kind of flowing into some of the other names. Education is also well today. But Kevin, if you take a look at that retail sales data, you know, most of the components within it were pretty positive. I think the only thing that dropped were electronics, building materials, and miscellaneous sales. So they're pretty, robust. So kind of equating with the fact that hey, GDP is probably going to be pretty solid.
Yeah, and vehicles, vehicles and gas, 0.6 to 0.8, good revisions, and then solid numbers, right? 0.5 is a good solid number in line with the data that Brian Moynihan gave us about a week ago. Their American data. So I just think the retail sales to the U.S. consumer is still strong, but like I said, aside from the regional data on the Empire State, the rest, industrial production down 0.1, manufacturing output unchanged, capacity utilization rate down to 10, import export prices, nothing, not very great there. And again, there's a 2% number. So if you take them chronologically, they got worse as the day went on, as the morning went on. So, and like I said, we have rallied. You know, the S&P was again getting close to 70 on the RSI. So a little pause here, not any big deal. I still think we're going to come off a pretty solid week of data. Why? Headlines, and retail sales better. Good solid numbers there. 2 of the top 6. The volatile PPI, that's always volatile. It doesn't affect the market as much because it always doesn't show up on CPI. If it does, that's another story. If that stuff starts showing up in the CPI data, but the headline was firm. That's what a lot of people look at. The core was sticky, all things considered, the CME Fed watch tool barely budged.
Yeah, right now, expecting 90, basically 91% change of rate cut in September.